Bob, just your thoughts. Lethargic, how would you explain that one?
That's probably, I was trying to think if there was another word, but that's probably a good one. Yeah, that works.
Do you get that this time of year?
We've talked all week about, I wanted to make sure, we have 6 freshmen. I wanted to make sure we could get them in games because we're going to need them. There's going to be times we're going to have to, and we already have. There's times we're going to have to depend on Magic Bender to help us. We're going to have to probably depend, at some point in time on Beetle Bolden to help us, or Chase Arler, or Lamont West. And so I wanted to get them as much experience as, we could get them. And we've been able to do that. But you want your other guys to be constants for you. And they certainly weren't. And it's kind of been going that way a little bit, It's just, I ask them all the time, why do you spend 12 months a year getting ready to play these games and then not embracing the games when you put all that work into it? But I know it happens, and the whole deal is to continue to get better, continue to add some things, continue to put it like a couple of different wrinkles that people haven't seen, wherever out of pressure, another defense or something. And we haven't been able to do that because we have to constantly keep going back to ground zero and start over again. And that part of it's frustrating.
How did you think Issa Ahmad played pretty well within the flow of the game offensively?
I think Issa is very effective when it's the hard thing to get them to understand is there's 5 guys out there, there's not one. And there's times when some guy will get really hot and but very rarely. And it's never consistently. So you have to move the defense when they're kind of packing it in and trying to keep you from driving the ball. You have to move them. And when we moved them, Issa was very effective. Nobody's effective when you don't move them.
When you go into a game and you've got them outmanned, how do you motivate the kids?
Well, I try to be honest with them, Mitch, and I think what's coming down the road is there's going to be it's not all going to be RPI. It's going to be other factors. And so you try to, as best you can, from what we know now, to educate them as to what people are going to look at. And there's plenty of motivation when you look at those dynamics. You always hope though that guys want to play, and they come to play, they come to compete, and they come to play, and they put. You think about putting 12 months in to play 31 games. And and all this crap that they've played, you know what, 31 games is about halfway to the NBA All-Star game. But they all want to be pros. You can't play 31 games, you sure can't play 100. You know, and then you get guys doing stuff they can't do. They think they can. But I don't know how you can miss like 12 straight shots and think you're a good shooter. That just blows my mind. I don't know how you can shoot one off the side of the backboard and think you're a good shooter. I don't know how that. I don't know how that works.
Confidence.
Yeah, confidence. No, that's I have another word for it, but I don't. You'll put it in the paper and make me look bad, so I'm not going to say it. But
Other than wins, what are some of those other things?
well, you know what? It's a game of roles, is what it is. It's a game of roles. You don't see, for instance, DeAndre Jordan out there jacking up threes, you know? And if he would command the money that he makes. There's a great thing on the internet of Wilt Chamberlain talking to, who was Bill Walton's backup center at UCLA, 7'2" or 3", whatever. Swin Nader. About just do what you do, man. You want to make money. You want to stay in this league. He was on the verge of getting cut from the league. He said, "You're 7'3". You're hard to score over. You block shots. You rebound. Do what you do, man. If you do what you're good at doing, there's a place for that. So why does everybody want to do all the things they can't? Why, when we talk about transition and making people run, do we run to the three-point line and stop like a dog running them to a doggy fence? I mean, it's like if we step over that line, man, we get shocked, so we don't go near that line. Stop. Why? It's easier to make, well, maybe it's not easier to make a layup. It's certainly not easier for us. You would think free throws would be easier to make than three-pointers too, but
Every couple times, one particular time I remember where Issa kind of gets the ball maybe at the top of the key and is able to just cup it or hold it, just kind of drive, and is able to hold off defenders just by holding the ball in his hands. Very, very strong with the ball. I was kind of wondering, is that a unique ability of his? Is that something he can use?
He's got huge hands. Huge.
Yeah. Like anything you've seen before? Or?
I've never had anybody I don't think had as big a hands as him.
Bob, your schedule, you talked yesterday, I think it was yesterday, numbers are better, some of your performances are better, and you've beaten some teams that have winning records and have given teams a better fight than they gave you all. Has it been what you wanted? Have you guys maybe overperformed? When you look at, like you're saying, I think with 6 freshmen, and you don't know what you're going to have at this point in December back when you're making it.
I think, Mike, what we've had is we've had big runs. I mean, we had a, whatever it was, 24 or 23 nothing run today. We had a 20-some to nothing run the other day. That's gonna happen. That's just a byproduct of the style of play, I think. I wanted to be able to get freshmen in again. We don't have enough guys. If I don't play some of them freshmen, we don't have enough guys. So I'm trying to get them as many minutes as I can possibly get them, but at the same time, they have to go in and play too. They can't go in there and shoot it every time they touch it, or not rebound it, or stand on the perimeter and not do anything. But we got it. I felt like we had to get them game time. We got 19 hard games coming. And Northern Kentucky might be, they've got 4 road wins, the most in the country. I haven't watched them on film because didn't have a lot of time to watch Radford, but they must be pretty good.
Bob, how deep is your rotation that you have confidence in now, and how deep do you need it to be for that stretch?
Three maybe.
3.
Yeah. Right now, probably 3. I don't know. I thought we had 4 guards I could depend on. I couldn't depend on half of them today. That's when you need the Beetle Boldens, the Chase Harlers, do I have another one? I don't even know who I have. James Long, to kind of step up. We've been trying to get Sags playing time at, not just, at the end of the game, but try to get him playing time in case, sometimes a year ago we had to play 2 bigs together. We'd play another big with Brandon or with Devin, and to see if we had to do that. Today's not a good day to ask me.
You had mentioned earlier in the season that you were looking for a guy to get you hard rebounds. When you look at the rebounding statistics tonight, you really didn't get anybody to get you hard rebounds, did you?
No, but I mean, I've said this forever. If you miss free throws, if you miss layups, if you drop balls, how many balls we drop? If you drop balls, you're not ready to play. You're just absolutely not ready to play. We fumble balls. How many balls we fumble right to them? Not ready to play. Forced 21 turnovers the first half, I believe, right? 8 the second half. Not ready to play.
Are you seeing some of these trends in practice, or is just under the lights?
Well, it's hard to practice every day, as hard as we practice, honestly. So, yeah, I mean, there's guys that don't have good practices some days.